You came out here to see the pyramid that stands up there, dark and silent, almost insultingly so. You stepped out of the car and in the falling rain fell to your knees and started reaching out, trying to get a read on the place, trying to understand what has been happening, what's going on. And it didn't take very long for the earth itself to reach out and swallow you. You were dragged down into the earth with the mud wrapping around you and filling your mouth and your nostrils, and you just feel yourself being dragged down deeper and deeper by these dark roots that have grabbed you and pulled you. And then suddenly it stops. You're sitting in the station that you were in a little while back. Station where you first heard the saint's voice. You are on one of the seats lining the walls, almost as if you're waiting for a train to come, and of course the train here doesn't come. You can feel the vibrations around the earth, all around you, something shaking like an earthquake. The glass and steel, the lights rattle. And then you feel his presence again. It envelops you and it feels incredibly alien as soon as it reaches out for you. It feels like nothing else you've felt before. It's much stronger than the first time he spoke to you. You feel as if you're in the presence of something you possibly could never understand. Its mind is so strange and really unsettling. You've finally come to see me.
It's a funny way of calling someone to you.
The city is me and I am the city. You reach into the earth and ask it questions. The chances are good I will answer.
Then does that mean that this is you? You creating all the darkness and turmoil? If you're the city and the city is dying, are you dying with it?
I cannot die, unfortunately. That is my curse. And you're a strange one. The city is imprinted in your skin. I too, as you can see, have inked my flesh with what is important to me. The Holy Scriptures of the Book of Nod. You can see all the lines of scriptures that are carved into his flesh. His entire body is covered with them.
Is he standing before her now?
No, you just feel his presence. You can almost see his outline in the shadows, but it's more of a presence that's around you than someone who's in front of you.
Elise closes her eyes for a moment, and in the darkness behind her eyelids, she can still see him there, and she reaches out and touches the scripture on him, in her mind's eye, of course.
Have you read much of the Book of Nod?
Some. I've read lots of things.
What is your thought on the concept of time?
It's an interesting question for a vampire, isn't it? Time. An eternity.
Would you consider yourself a vampire?
Oh, kindred.
Another term that is not so familiar to me. In my day, you all called yourselves Canaanites.
Is that the term you'd prefer me to use?
No, it matters little to me what you call yourself. I wondered, though, do you hear it? That tick, tick, tick.
She squeezes her eyes tighter, listens carefully.
I don't hear anything. In fact, there is a very substantial void of sound.
I don't hear the clock ticking, but I can feel it moving. Can feel its hands winding around its wide face. It's moving faster now, it seems. Do you feel it?
I do. Not the time of the clock, though clocks are honest things, but the one behind our eyes, the one that winds forward and backwards and sideways when you're not paying attention. Time's a serpent with too many heads. I used to know which one was biting me, but they say the nights were young ones. I remember that. Broad strokes, smudged paint. I remember watching the first cities rise like ribs from the earth. I remember watching them fall too soft and low as a sigh. Somewhere in there, yes, he whispered, "Walk the long road, children, for the sun is no longer yours." Something like that. My memory's a drunk archivist. It shelves things wrongly on purpose, I feel sometimes. What are you looking for, young one?
Peace, beauty, happiness. The things that anyone should desire, really.
Do you not feel that these things have been taken away from you along with your life?
Not yet. But I feel a great threat to them.
Time is certainly of the essence. What do you intend to do about it?
A ritual. Cleanse the city. For the evil that's taken root here.
The one that plagues my mind and makes my slumber evil, wicked, and decayed, and spreads out through me to everything in this place.
It lives in the soil here. It affects everything it comes into contact with. You are not impervious to it. Clearly.
I am not, but I've already dispatched my herald. Bring word of the incoming cleansing fire that I plan to use to clear my mind.
You wish to see it all burn.
I see no other recourse.
Such an easy way to deal with it. Burn it all. Wash your hands clean, go back to bed, tuck yourself in. Sleep for another 1,000 years in a city you don't care for anymore. Who's poisoned you?
The good book says, know the dawn you will never see. You must be prepared to do the dark things, to live in the dark. I used to meditate on that. I tried to bite the sun once and didn't go well. Didn't go well for the lovers either, hand in hand, walking into the sun, beset by my folly, but Just wanted to see love endure and unfold me, but time destroys everything. Even love.
Give me time before you so lazily rest on your laurels.
There is no time, child.
Says you. I don't believe that. It might be running out. The grains of sand might be slipping through the hourglass faster than ever now, but just a little bit more time. Let me try.
Do you know the trick of time? Time isn't moving, we are. We shuffle around it like beggars circling well, hoping the water changes before we do, but it won't and we will. Let me tell you the secret. Pages of the book whispered when it thought I had stopped listening. All things end, even the endless.
Well, I intend to defy your book.
See how much you care for this place. You would enshrine it in dark light and bring a measure of peace to it. I can give you some time, but time is fickle. Soon the good father and I will cleanse this place unless you give us a reason not to. My own time is short. They have finally come for me. They've come through time to take me to where it all began, the first city. The end comes even for the endless. You have until they find me, and they are at our doorstep.
I hope to not disappoint you.
My dear child, I am beyond disappointment. Simply try not to disappoint yourself.
May I ask you one question?
You may.
Who is this they that you fear so deeply?
The guardians of time, the sentinels of Enoch, Tal Mahera.
Would she recognize that word?
Well, we're going to do a roll in a moment here to see if you do or not, but
Okay.
for right now, as soon as he says that last word, you are pulled back out from this moment, out from the underground. You are being held by Vico in the mud, both of you completely covered in it, drenched in the rainwater. You're looking up at that pyramid as Vico holds you, and he, when seeing your eyes open, says, I've never seen anything like that. What the hell happened to you?
I had a visit. Take me home.
Go ahead and roll intelligence plus occult, please. Thank you, Bradley, for all those donations, by the way, all those subs. I saw that go by as we were in the middle of it. Can't.
I'm gonna go ahead and use 2 night moves because we got a lot.
2 Bradley's night moves. Thanks, Bradley, and thanks. I think Bones also tossed out some night moves for you all, so thank you very much, Bones.
Thank you, little baby.
Oh, thank you, Bones.
That's 5 successes.
You have heard the Tal Mahera mentioned before as a myth, basically. This idea that there is a sort of secret society of vampires who are working to help the antediluvians during Gehenna in order to save themselves. But this is mythical stuff. This is stuff from ages past, epics past, talks of the first city of Enoch, things that don't exist and maybe never have. It's like they're the Kaiser Soze, basically, of the vampire world. Thanks, Bradley. Man. Miko picks you up and brings you back to the car. It's in the back seat. Flips in. Looks at you in the rearview mirror, says, "Good to hold on till we get home?"
I'm quite fine. Just get me home.
Meanwhile, Crosstown. It is the next night. If you would, Father Dubois, give me a rouse check.
Happily. I have a success.
That's troubling to me, but we'll carry on.
Did I have a success on a rouse check?
Yeah.
I have a massive herd.
No, I'm happy. I'm just saying. I like it when, rouse checks fail. My own little private joy. Father Dubois, you had yesterday an interesting meeting with the Tremors, and you have probably begun making moves or reaching out to people. Tell us, before eventually going to bed yesterday morning, what did you do about everything you'd been talking about with the Tremere and about the Gladius Day and all that? What have been your night moves, so to speak?
He's been reaching out to his contacts at the oratory to get the witches their audience that they require of those that dwell within. With a slight snicker to his face, knowing that if the witches actually set foot on holy ground, they will burn. But that's neither here nor there. And past that, he has been, through channels and through pseudonyms, dropping not quite coded messages, but messages that allude to the prince being supernatural and where she can be found, where she's been spotted.
Those inquiries you made about at the oratory will take at least 24 hours to get back, so perhaps once you awake tonight you may get information on that, and the rest of the information has been passed along to the appropriate people. You went to bed with the sense of job well done, satisfaction in your job. As you toss around in bed, you're in that state just before you awake, when you're still kind of half in slumber and then half kind of starting to wake up from the day sleep. And as you crack open your eyes, you are taken aback by the fact that there is sunlight pouring into your room. But it's not hurting you, and after a moment, with that initial flight or fight fear reaction, you find that it's actually quite pleasant. You hear birds chirping outside. You hear people talking, perhaps peasants working in the field or something to that effect. You are in a very different room. It looks like a monk's cell from somewhere in an Italian monastery, maybe a long buried memory from some visit you had done perhaps at some point. What do you do?
Do I realize if I'm in a dream? Do I have like that awareness? Like, you know what I mean? Like, 'cause sometimes you know you're in a dream kind of thing, right?
You know that lately you've been having strange little visions. And this is what this feels like. Like a premonition of some sort, or a message from, not from God, obviously, but
I think I would reach out and just simply ask, "Are you there?" But I'm asking it in the sense of reaching out to the saint. That does this have the same feeling like I've been sucked into one of his memories again?
it doesn't. And as you reach out, all you get in return is a voice that rises in the hall that you imagine would be outside your door. There's a voice like someone giving a sermon or something to that effect. It's in Latin. I don't know if the father speaks Latin, but
He does. Oh, he does.
so you can clearly hear someone beginning a sermon in Latin.
I would get up and... Am I dressed or am I in sleeping attire?
You are dressed in a very rough brown monk's robe, like that you would expect like a very poor rural monk in hundreds of years ago to be wearing, and you're wearing those. On the floor next to your bed are these old leather sandals that are barely holding together.
I think he straps those on very quickly, looks at himself kind of over, and he goes, "Friar, well, at least I can still drink."
There is a half-empty earthenware jug of wine right next to your bed.
I think he looks at it and just goes, "That's the real hell. Knowing what it tastes like, but not being able to taste it." And I think he stands up and he moves probably rather quickly over to the door to follow this voice.
You hear the voice on the other side, and it sounds familiar, and in Latin it says, "On this day, devouts of the light, hear the words of our Lord, hearken unto them and take heart." Genesis 1:3-4, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. Do you do anything, or you just keep listening at the door?
That beautiful cleansing light.
Psalm 37:6, He will bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your justice as the noonday. I'm sure you recognize that voice. It sounds like Reverend Euclid Roman's voice.
Roman? And I think he opens the door. I think he does. He opens the door like...
You see a vast alabaster hall, a church of a size that is almost incomprehensible. The vaulted ceiling disappears into the sunlit celestial sky. The cross with the crucifix with Jesus on it is massive and seems to be hovering in the air above the place where the Reverend is speaking his speech. There are a number of monks in these black rough tunics just like yours, with these giant crucifixes made of gold wrapped around their necks. All of them, you can see, have a chain around one of their legs, and blood is dripping from it onto the floor. Proverbs
True men of faith.
13:9, the light of the righteous rejoices, but the lamp of the wicked will be put out. See, the monks are starting to kind of swell up and stand, and there's this sense of purpose that is starting to move around the room. You do anything?
I think he takes it and he just stands there, just hearing the words that he has tried desperately to speak to those in around him, those who would listen, those who are doomed to die, those who believe themselves immortal. And to hear it spoken and to hear it received fills him with a strong sense of almost sinful pride. But in the back of his mind, very small voice, they're talking about you, dipshit.
You hear this voice. Unit is also sitting in the last pew, working on some knitting or crocheting or something. You never know which one it is. There's the Grey Nun. She stops her work for a moment and looks at you. What are you doing here?
I don't know, but I am so happy to see you.
And you feel the Reverend's eyes upon you. And when you turn, he's looking straight at you. And he says, Romans 13:12. The night is far gone. The day is at hand, so then let us cast off the works of darkness and put on the armor of light. Archangels, you strike at that snake who festers among us. The leech known as Alexander Dubois, the demon in hiding, find him and purify him in our Lord's glorious light. And as he says that, all the monks turn towards you, and in their hoods is this bright yellow light that flashes and blinds you. And you shake and come to in your bed, in your room. It's dark. You feel something strange. Something's not right. Everything is way too quiet.
I think he, in probably nothing more than his sleep pants at this point, I think he hops out of bed and rushes out of his chambers to his office, looking around. Where is everybody?
You rush into the office. You see no one. You hear no one. The only light in the place is the various bits and bobs of neon that are scattered throughout this pretty specific church. It's night outside. And even the streets are empty. When you walk into your office, the crucifix that's on your wall, the eyes of Christ are staring straight at you.
I'm doing your work. Where is everyone?
What do you do?
I think he looks for the red book.
You search around your office. You find it easily enough wherever you left it. Just as you hold on to it, grab it, put your hand around it, you hear the sound of a door closing, the front door of your church. It echoes in the emptiness of the place.
I think the good father is going to utilize heightened senses for one, to see if he can hear, like actually like hear, smell, see as best as he can.
As soon as you activate that, the smell of incense fills your nose. You hear the sound of the unmistakable sound of rosary beads as they swish along the side of the priest's coat. You hear breathing, prayers muttered in Latin under the breath. You smell sweat. Soft footsteps of people moving very quietly on the marbled floors of your church.
More than one?
More than one.
I am going to use Silence of Death, which renders my footsteps virtually silent.
I assume you're making whatever rolls you need to make for those various.
Yeah. For the heightened senses, I got 5 successes, and for Silence of Death, it's just free.
Good.
And I think that he's going to like clutch that book and look to see if, like, just grab a jacket. He's probably got a jacket in his office of some kind, realizing that he's just standing there essentially bare-chested in sleep pajamas or pajama pants, right? And he throws the coat on over him, and he grabs his old-ass fucking 1800s Bible, and he clutches them to him. And I think at this moment, he's going to utilize premonition.
Make a roll.
To see, essentially, who this is without having to open the door, kind of thing.
Go ahead and make a roll.
All right. 4 successes.
One second. Four successes, you said?
Mm-hmm.
You put your hand on the door. You try to get a sense of what's waiting on your side, what's awaiting for you as soon as you open that. And you immediately recoil as you are faced with sunlight. There's just this bright, intense sunlight that washes over you and freaks you out so much that you break out of your premonition and kind of back away from the door, but you have no doubt what's on the other side of this door.
Fuck. Okay. He rouses his blood and, which I pass, taking his strength to essentially frickin' 7, and he grabs that massive cross off the wall behind his desk and wedges it up against the office door that goes out into the gallery, essentially, and he's basically booking it down one of the tunnels that is under the church as like a escape route kind of thing.
You step down in there, down this bolt hole that you have, and the second you open the door and start stepping down, you get again that sense, that image, that flash of sunlight. And you know that way is not safe either. And after a moment, you can hear footsteps coming in your direction.
He looks around. Fuck. No. I am his avenging angel. I am Michael's sword. What is this? No. I am here to herald. I am here to sweep and wipe away and make clean. No. No.
You hear a voice behind you. Father Dubois?
Do I recognize the voice?
Meanwhile, across the city. When you arrived last night home, Elise, after your ordeal, what did you do? Catch us up on what you did before the sun came up.
I mean, she would have ran and told Daddy everything, of course. That's what she does. So she would have went and she would have found Fletcher. She would have told him about her vision in the bottom of the pyramid. She would have told him about the meeting with the saint, about the mention of the Talmara. Talmahara, sorry.
What, you had a vision of the Talmahara, you said?
No. The Malkavian, the old one who sleeps under the city. He told me so that they were coming for him. That time was running out.
Talmahara is a myth.
He doesn't seem to believe so.
And this saint told you we don't have a lot of time then?
No. He said that he could feel them coming and he would burn it all before they did.
Okay.
I asked him for more time to let us try.
Did you seem
And
amenable to that, or?
Granted us at least that.
Well, I'm inclined to believe his threat. I think we're gonna have
I don't see
get
why
moving.
not. Do you think that any of the myths of the old books are real?
I'm sure some are. Every myth has a grain of truth in it somewhere. I mean, Talmahara, the lost city of Enoch, Cain, Lilith, who knows? There's so many conflicting stories and so many different ideologies. It's the same for humans. How are they going to know the difference between any of the gods that they follow? There's no one around to confirm anything, so... But...
It almost seemed like he had seen some of those things, the way he spoke about it.
Who is he? Do we know anything about him?
Does she storytell her? No.
No.
Just a very old kindred, sleeping underneath the city, slowly being poisoned by the earth, like the rest of them.
His power is incredible if he's touching the minds of everyone in the city.
He sucked me into the earth. It was as though I was Alice falling through the rabbit hole. Is it normal for kindred to be able to do such a thing?
I mean, I've seen our kind do the most incredible things. I've seen others, mages and lupines, do incredible things. There's no real limit on what is possible. But we can't fight or function things that are beyond our ability to even understand. We have to just focus on what we do have in front of us and what we know. We know that we have this ritual. We know that there's as good a chance as anything that it's going to work. I think we just have to get it done. Hopefully, Dubois is taking care of the Gladius Day so that they don't come and foil our plans, but we can't even wait for that. We have to start. Have you thought about who you want to turn first?
I have. Marjolaine. She's deserving of it. I think she was the first, and she shall be the first again.
Good. So let's do that tomorrow. We'll talk to Vico. We'll do that first thing tomorrow. While you were gone, word came that apparently the prince is dead. There are other people with plans, and they're making moves right now also. The prince being dead, well, we'll find out who did it, but it may not be problematic. It may in fact help us. But it means that there's someone out there who's making moves, and I don't know if it was Gladius Day or somebody else that took her, but news came from the sheriff, so I assume that if it was Gladius Day, he would know. He said something about a Sabbat pack, but...
Sabbat. What of the girl, Maud?
I was successful in breaking her bond. She also asked me to hide evidence that she has committed diablerie. She's been up to a lot of naughtiness. But, as I always do, I took a little extra in emotions to 2 of the blood red gems on his desk. So we have some of her blood.
Have you studied it further?
I did, and I discovered a few interesting things which we should talk about. I think that if that is still the plan for Strathcona to have her as prince, I think we have enough of a hold on her through this and through what we know of her diablerie that she can take care of kindred affairs and leave us to take care of our things. And I think that that can be a working relationship, at least for a while. We'll see how Strathcona reacts to the blood bond being broken. He's not gonna like that.
Do you think he'll kill her?
No, I think he's been grooming her for a long time to do this. I don't think he's gonna want to waste that work. I think he's going to just try to, by force, get the blood bond back, so we'll deal with that when we get to that. But for now, let's get some rest. Let's get you some rest. Let's get you cleaned up. You're a fright. Been rolling around in the mud, have you?
I'm very hungry.
She's still like all shriveled too right now. I think she gives him this very pathetic look when she says that.
He opens the door and nods to someone. He says, I'll get the others to come and help, and we'll get you sorted out, dear. And then tomorrow, first thing, let's get this started. Let's do the first ritual. Let's turn Marjolaine. Then once that's done, let's gather around the people that have said they would help. And there's no need to wait anymore. There's, in fact, a need to move quickly, so...
She takes a moment and curls into him, smearing mud across his nice dress, of course.
he accepts it. He accepts it very gracefully. Says, dear, we'll have to get you a new driver. Someone who can take care of you and make sure you don't end up in such a frightful state.
It wasn't Vico's fault. It was the one under the city, I told you.
I guess there wasn't much you could do about that. How did the meeting with the Rat King, was it, go?
It seemed to be quite interesting. The young lady tried to attack him when we got there. But all is well. He's a very handsome man.
Oh, is he?
Very kind. I think you'd like him.
And is Claudia dead?
She lives. Returned home to her lover.
I guess it wasn't completely her decision to attack the Rat King. Was that
magic of some sort.
Oh.
But Desi took care of her.
Good.
He had told me about the pyramid and I had to go see it, so I couldn't stick around. You know how it is.
And that's when you ran into the saint, so to speak?
In a matter of words, yes.
Alright, enough work for tonight. You've done very good. Get you cleaned up.
Thank you.
She kind of trots out of the room with the final thought of,
Do you still think I'm pretty when I look like this?
Darling, the substance that would cover you and render you anything but the most exquisite of creatures in my eyes has not yet been invented by men, kindred, or gods.
Oh yes, but all this sinking skin, really, it's horrible.
That's not great, but we make do. You know I love you for more than just your outward beauty.
How human of you to say.
I know.
she skips off.
But he's like, what about me? I look like Timu Ewan McGregor, and you still love me.
Yes. Timu Ewan McGregor, let's go. Hope he doesn't fall in any toilets.
No, probably safe from that. I don't think there are toilets in the house. Actually, there would be because you have ghouls, but you will be able to get cleaned up and get a night's rest. The next morning when you wake, if you would like to make a rouse check for me, please.
So
or are you
I
still very hungry?
hunger.
You were very hungry from the night before, right?
Yeah. That was one of the things she mentioned with the bath, was getting a nighttime snack.
All right.
Can I have a snacky in a bath?
Yeah. I'm sure that you have a good enough herd that you can lake that hunger, so you can take 2 off, but then make your rouse check the next day.
Great. Oh, that was a success. Yay.
Oh. Wow. Aren't y'all lucky? All right. You will get a good night's rest, get fed, cleaned, get a good night's rest. The next night, you will get to talk to, well, actually probably the night before, but we'll do that in a moment. You will have to talk to Marjolaine and tell her what is in store for her. But before we see that, let us cut back to the church in question, where the father hears a voice behind him and says, Father Dubois. It is not a voice that is completely unfamiliar, but it's not one that you place right away, and it's coming from the confessional.
But the confessional is outside of my chambers.
I'm sorry, I thought you were in the area where there would have been confessional. So it's
No. I was hiding in my office, and then I was trying to leave, and then you were like, "Yeah, no." You opened the back door, and there was light there too, and I'm like, Shit!
So, from a corner of the room that is shadowed, you hear this voice, and you can see a form standing in it, and it steps forward. And you recognize one of the La Sombras that you had seen in the oratory. Who steps forward and says, "My name is Decimus. I believe you have some unwanted guests. I think we should stick to the night as our kind does, and if you would like, I can help you step away from this place." Member of the clergy to member of the clergy, of course, and he opens his shirt and you can see that he's got a priest's collar.
How have you survived? If they've been here the whole time, I know that man is at the oratory.
We left the oratory as soon as they came in. We were looking for some information there. Unfortunately did not find it, but I think perhaps you might be able to help me, which is why I would like to extend to you a hand of friendship right now and help you get out of this tight spot. We won't go very far, we'll just let them get tired of searching for you here and leave.
Can you take the Reverend with us?
That might be a tall order.
I think he could be exceptionally useful.
Let's see what we can do.
Bargaining chip, if anything.
If you would like, step into my parlor, and he moves aside and with his hand sweeps his hand through the shadows and parts them almost like the curtain that hangs in front of a confessional.
Oh, yeah.
You step through with him and you find yourself in a very dark room that doesn't seem to really have any geography to it. Your steps echoes as you walk around, and he says, "Don't be alarmed, I don't know if you've been here before, but we're just simply a little bit deeper into the shadows. We can walk around and see if we can isolate one of them if you're interested in getting your hands on one of them while we talk."
Yes, please. What is this place?
It's a passageway to a place called the Abyss. There's a void of darkness is where my brethren and I, the La Sombra, draw our power from.
Is this the world between worlds?
This is a passageway to the world between worlds, I would say.
Huh.
It would be very difficult to take you further, but here, at least for now, we're safe. And you can see almost as if through a smoky window your church on the other side in almost black and white, and there's like this strange black smoke that sort of moves in between you, and as you're walking around you can kind of see that you're following along the edges of the rooms where shadows would be. My name is Decimus.
In awe of you, Decimus.
I'm certain you have advantages of your own.
That I do.
I've been wanting to speak with you for some time, but they've been making it difficult, as you can imagine.
Who has been making it difficult?
I'm glad we could step in before things got too hairy for you here, but as I said, I have a little problem I think you might be able to help me with. If you would be willing to entertain me for a moment.
Well, it seems that in this place we are removed, and you have my undivided attention.
Keep your eyes peeled if you see one of them isolated from the others. I wouldn't try to tackle more than one, but one we might be able to do something with.
I only need one.
Father Dubois, my brethren and I are part of an order called the Aphotic Clergy. We've been keeping tabs for a very long time on three particular kindred in the world that interests us. We feel that there is one here who might be the one we've been looking for.
Who is that?
Have you ever heard of the Saint?
I have indeed. What is your business with him?
We've been, as I said, keeping tabs on him and two others for a very long time. We started over 1,000 years ago in Constantinople. We followed him all the way from Jerusalem to Constantinople to Rome to London, and now here. We knew he'd be hiding somewhere close to a religious site. We thought that might be the oratory, so we searched there, but then our sort of light friends moved in, and we had to vacate the place. We sought an audience with the Grey Nun, but unfortunately I hear she was killed.
That is true. I can confirm that.
I'm sorry for your loss. It must have been quite a blow to you. Lose one who had...
She lives with me. In here.
That is very comforting. You're the last Cainite with connections to the church in this city, the last of a very long history of power, all of it finally come to ash and dust. If you could help us find the Saint, if Gehenna is indeed upon us, and it certainly seems to be, there are those who will be coming here to find him, the true Bruja. We believe they are already in the city, looking for him, to bring him back to Enoch, to use him in a pact with the ancients. Not something we can let happen.
So your goal is to stop the Time Lords from taking him?
We feel that it is in no one's best interest if the Saint is who we think he is, that he be brought back to Enoch and be reminded of who he is.
Who do you believe he is?
I dare not even speak his name.
There is only a handful of individuals he could be. Even speaking his name, he would not find you. If he wanted to find you, he would.
He may not even be who we think he might be. As I said, there are three kindred, but the presence of the Talmahera here in the city at this particular time. One member of our order, Francisco Caetano Santiago, tracked him here in 1755. But the artifact he was hoping to use to find him was stolen by followers of Set, and he was not able to discover him.
Wow.
But the true Bruja being here, Gehenna being, for all intents and purposes, begun.
And do you believe that if he is taken by you or your organization, as it were, that it would in turn stop Gehenna?
Our belief is that if this saint is who we think he is, he's the only one who has the power to judge and bring the sword to the ancients who have awoken. The Talmahera would make a deal with them have the rest of us slaughtered in the hopes of being spared, but we would rather see the Ancient Ones judged and returned to the earth.
So you wish the avenging sword to remain, but the hand to be removed?
You're speaking Malkavian, Father, and I don't have my decodering.
Did you submit 4 suit labels and mail it in 2 weeks ago?
No, I'm afraid this
Oh.
is a little bit off the cuff, this intervention here.
I have to admit, unfortunately, while this is all very interesting, moving, and I am giving it serious thought. You keep saying Constantinople, don't you mean Istanbul? That's all that keeps rolling in my head over and over and over.
That's fine. I'm sure once the Ancient Ones traverse the Atlantic and find themselves on these shores, they will permanently cure that for you.
That is what I truly need answered. I know of his location. I know exactly where he can be found.
You do?
Yes.
Are you willing to tell me where?
If you help me get him.
I think we can work with that. He extends his hand. Shall we shake on it? Like the gentlemen of the clergy that we are?
Answer me one other thing.
Yes, Father.
Once you have him, will you leave? Or will you remain?
He needs to be in the old countries, where the Ancient Ones are.
So he will, in fact, not be here anymore.
No, he will hopefully do what we expect him to do, which is to take care of his progeny, or he will die if he is not who we think he is. Either way, he will no longer be a problem to you.
That's what I needed to know.
Let's see about bagging us a priest then, shall we?
Let's. And I think low-key, under his breath, kind of thing, right? He just says, "And I shall pave the way for her return."
And as you are attempting to bag yourself a priest, we've now caught up to you, time-wise, at the Tremere Mansion. You find Elise the next night when you awake. You find Marjolaine, again, as always, ready to help you get ready for the night. She helps you out of the room and has the bath prepared and is laying out some clothes for you, and says, quite an eventful night last night.
Extraordinarily.
I hope everything's okay.
As okay as they can be. Things are moving at a fast pace. Marjolaine, would you come here and kneel by the tub?
She does immediately, without hesitation.
Do you
What can I
like
do for
it
you?
here?
I do. I wasn't sure at first, and a lot of it frightened me, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't think of trying to run away a few times, but I've grown quite fond of this place and View and Fletcher and everybody else here, and it's this whole new world that has opened up to me that I realize somehow I hoped existed, but I've truly believed it did. Here you are, in the flesh.
And you no longer find yourself frightened?
From time to time, there are people who visit you that are very frightening. That Mr. Olivier fellow, the art critic, he frightens me, and the priest also sometimes. He's very strange. Sometimes he has a very kind demeanor and voice, and sometimes he is like the devil himself. It is very unsettling.
Just like men in the world, no one's made the same. There are good ones and bad ones. You'll find that anywhere.
Like Mr. Desmond a lot, he's been very, very kind, even as he has changed bodies, apparently. Is that something that happens often in your world?
I'm afraid not. It was an unfortunate circumstance.
He seems to be taking it quite well, I guess, and, well, if he is, who am I to do anything else but?
I believe for Desi, it's just another drop of water in the ocean. I think he has seen a lot in his life.
I think all of you have, and that is something that is very interesting to me. I've seen so little. I've barely traveled away from the city in my time, only to the east coast of the United States a few times, and to Ontario. I've always wanted to go to Europe or Asia, but it always felt like my world was just this tiny little place, my shop and the city and my neighborhood, and now I kind of see a much broader world beyond, through your eyes and through Fletcher's eyes, and it's quite fascinating, really.
What if I told you that I could give you that gift to see the things you wanted to see, to have all the time in the world?
You see a tear forming at the corner of her eye, and she's holding back a lot of emotions, and she says, "How difficult is it to watch the people you love grow old and die while you don't?"
Elisa's hands creep out of the water, and she takes Marjolaine's hands in her own, clasps them before her, holds them to her face.
It never gets easier. I can assure you of that. Faraday's passing was excruciating. But you learn to love them for what they are, while they are, to enjoy them in the moment, until that moment is no more. But I cannot tell you that it is easy or that it ever will be easy.
Is that what would happen if I were to say no and remain as I am? Would I someday grow old and die, and you would just remember me for what I was momentarily and move on to others?
It is. But I'll always be here while you're here, and I will always take care of you. And even if you choose not to accept this gift, I will love you all the same. And when you are gone, and you are feeding the worms in the earth, I will still think of you fondly and love you. I don't forget those that I love.
I think sometimes of how fond you were of Maria and how it must be hard to see that tree out back every night, knowing that she is buried there but a few feet away from you and you can never hear her voice again or touch her again.
It is. But I have my memories. I have her art. The joy of her still lives in this house.
I would have you hear my voice and touch my skin and smell my hair, and I would do all of these things also with you rather than lie in the earth a few feet away as just a memory.
I would love that very much. Can I tell you a secret?
Mm-hmm.
I never wanted to be a mother. It scared me. I saw how my mother was. Tired, exhausted, sad. She gave away all her dreams for me. But now, the more I think on it, the more I'd like to reclaim motherhood. Make you my child, and instead of give away all my dreams, live them alongside of you, as it should be.
I would like that very much.
It's settled then. We
Will
have
I-
lots to prepare for this evening.
Will I actually die, or is it just a transformation?
Only temporary. I can't make false promises that it won't hurt. But I can tell you that I'll be there every step of the way. And in the end, you'll feel glorious, new. You'll know the world through new eyes, reborn.
And where does this happen?
I believe it will be taking place in the ritual chamber.
The ritual chamber, being in this room, always makes everything feel different. Everything is heightened, more powerful. When you, Elise, first began practicing sex magic with Fletcher, a whole new way of connecting your body and mind, and the power of magic was open to you. Fletcher's explanation had drawn you in at first. It's the same for artists, he had said. So many artists do their best work when in an elevated state of mind. Many will use drugs or alcohol, some use sex also, or pain. But the goal is the same, to alter your perception, to get your senses to open up and perceive the world in a new and different way. Drugs and alcohol do very little for us, so we have sex and pain left. And then he showed you. Boundaries were obliterated, rigid lines drawn by morality, self-abnegation, self-consciousness were bent, turned brittle and destroyed. You began to see how many shackles restrained you that you were not even aware of, shackles imposed by religion and society and education. Breaking through them, transgressing those artificial laws not born of nature but created by man for liberating and empowering. And in turn, your ecstasy empowered the magic. And so much of it occurred in this room, yours and Fletcher's ritual room. You've enjoyed physical intimacy ranging from the languorous and pleasurable to the wild and debauched with everyone in the room before, Fletcher of course, but also Vico and Marjolaine. But doing it now in this room changes everything. You can almost see the lines of power as they swirl about the four of you, ensnaring you, binding you together. The foundation is Fletcher. His knowledge of not only magic, but of your body and soul is the base upon which the whole ritual is built. Vico is different, a more passionate but also more selfish lover. His primary goal is always his own satisfaction, and his darkness spreads to envelop you all. He creates the void, the empty space at the center of everything, where the remainder of the ritual and the magic will be cradled. Being the focus of these two men makes the experience feel complete, a giver and a taker, a creator and a destroyer. In their embrace you are both queen and servant, goddess and object, worshipped and used, and you become the crucible through which their magic coalesces. Their magic so different you can taste it, with Fletcher's being warmed and heady with the coppery, enervating scent of blood, and Vico's cold and cruel, filled with tantalizing shadows and tasting faintly of emptiness and sorrow. And through you, through your hands that manipulate Marjolaine's pleasure and pain so expertly, the magic is transformed, empowered, augmented, until it spills into her, a fiery liquid that seeps from your body into hers and fills her with the energy created by the friction of the two men as they merge and clash inside of you, the energy that is made whole by your final touch. As the ritual nears its apex, how are you feeling? What is going through your mind as you prepare to create for the first time?
Elise feels excitement, complete elation, and something that, like she said, she had always been afraid of until she came to see it in this new light. She welcomes the prospect of a child, and amidst the magic of this room, she is absolutely buzzing and brimming with life, knowing that she can right past wrongs in her own life and not having to watch another one of her humans die. It's hard. It's always hard. It'll never be easy, like she said. But it's scary at the same time. It's new uncharted territory. So many probabilities at hand. But she trusts Fletcher and their decision.
Marjolaine gasps, experiencing what this room's power can do. She's ready, you say, breathless and vibrating with pleasure and magic as you bend down to bite the inside of her thigh, your practiced fangs finding the artery. The blood, warm, sweet and spicy, flooded with the endorphins created by her pleasure and pain, fills your mouth and cascades down your throat as you drink more deeply from her than ever before. Her vitae fills you with life, her life, bringing with it an intimacy unmatched, her body and soul slipping deep inside of you, nesting in that always parched void in the pit of your stomach. She stills. The last ounces of her life drip into your mouth, and she's on the edge now, the last gasp of life clinging to her lips with desperation. With difficulty, her fingers move through your hair as she watches your head rise from between her thighs, your lips, teeth, cheeks, and chin stained deep red and dripping with her blood. "Mother," she whispers faintly. The chalice where your blood was mixed with Fletcher's and Vico's appears before you, is tipped into your waiting mouth. You swallow some of it, revel in how powerful and full it tastes, the blood of elder vampires slipping down your throat, a truly unmatched pleasure. Then you fill your mouth with the mixture of blood, bring your mouth to hers, and drip the crimson liquid breath of life back into her body. As she opens her mouth wide in hunger to accept the vitae and her new life, you feel a pull off somewhere far away. And you're in a vast, gray and featureless land. To the east, you see 3 crosses, each with a ladder leaning on it. In the shadows of these crosses sits a man who smiles at you. "We meet at last. You have had my life's work etched into your skin for so long. I feel like we know each other, but we don't. Not really. I am Rinaldo Toisechel. Welcome, Elise. Sit in the shade of the crosses with me for a moment. I have some things to tell you, if you are to enact my ritual."
She approaches him. She sits at his feet, almost as a disciple would, looking up to him.
In that moment, the crosses above you throw shadows over you, and they're very similar to the shadows that are currently falling across the priest that you have targeted, Father Dubois, as you watch him through the dark, nebulous walls of this shadow's place where you are. Are you targeting one of the other priests, or are you targeting Roman himself?
The Reverend, yes.
He is hanging back, watching as his soldiers move. You can now tell that there are 5 of them here. Quite a show of force. It's probably most of them. But with a bit of patience, you find him for a few moments, isolated and alone. Decimus looks at you and says, "He'll have defenses against powers of the mind and such."
That's fine. He draws his defenses and his power from those around him.
I can make sure darkness envelops him so that he cannot see or speak. Do you have a way of navigating
Oh,
the
yes.
darkness?
I very much can navigate in whatever darkness consumes me.
And let's move before the others come back. And he puts a hand on your shoulder and pushes you, and you feel a slight bit of resistance as he pushes you out of the shadows, and the shadows seem to not want to let go of you. They cling to you. They kind of try to wrap around you and hold you in there, and he pushes with some determination. And you hear him mutter under his breath, "Let him go. He's not yours." And as he pushes you through, you really feel almost like you're going through water.
Okay, cool.
And you step on the other side, and he steps with you, and you are a few feet away from the Reverend Euclid Roman. And in a second, darkness envelops him, and you can hear his muffled screams of surprise. What do you do?
I step into the darkness and, utilizing my enhanced senses, see the outline that is him. And I grab him. And I lock eyes with him.
So it is pitch fucking black. He can't see your eyes. So what's going to happen is this.
He doesn't need to see my eyes. I just have to see his.
Oh, excellent. You go ahead and you grab him, and he reacts immediately, and a prayer springs to his lips, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Now, before you can reach out and grab him, I'm going to need you to make a roll for me to see if you can actually reach out and affect him. You're going to have to make a willpower roll.
Okay.
So, sorry. You have to make a willpower plus humanity roll.
Oh, okay. All right. Wait, no. Let's see how we can figure out how to add these suckers in there. Right there.
Well, just roll whatever you're doing, just to add
yeah,
the number of dice, because it's the hunger dice won't matter.
Okay, all right.
And no, you can't spend night moves on this, but I'll let you re-roll by spending a willpower if you need to.
I will spend night moves on this. I will spend 4.
No, that's what I was just saying. You can't spend night moves, but I will let you use a willpower to re-roll if you need to.
Okay, that's 4 successes with a critical.
So, with 4 successes, you reach out to try and grab him, and immediately, even though you can tell that he can't see you, he reacts and is kind of looking generally in your direction and kind of starts backpedaling away, but you feel like there's a hand on your chest that's kind of pushing you back, and you feel it's not very strong, like you're almost through it, but you feel that there's something that is holding you back from him. If you have failures, you can spend a willpower reroll.
Yeah.
You can reroll up to 3 of your failures.
All right, rerolling 3. That's an additional 2 successes, so 6 successes with 1 critical in total.
With a little bit of will and intent, you find yourself able to push through, and he reacts to it. As soon as you push through, he feels it. And he's like, ah! And his voice is very muffled because of the darkness, and you can hear him intoning prayers, but they don't seem to do anything. So what would your action be?
I'm going to mesmerize him.
All right. You will get a roll to try and defend against it.
That is correct.
That roll will be, so you do a rouse check first.
Yeah.
And then it's intelligence plus resolve for him.
Yeah. Rouse. We're good. And then my blood is already up, still technically, because we're still in the same scene, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That is 13 successes and 2 criticals.
2 criticals, 13 successes, and none of them, and this is not a messy critical?
No, not 1.
Okay, he's got 4 successes. I don't think he can match you on successes. You reach out and you grab onto his mind, and the first thing you realize is that, 1, it's very strong. He has very high resolve, very high intelligence. It's very strong. So right away, like, your successes were great, and you got in there. You can tell that unless you manage to kind of take control of him quickly, he's going to be able to keep putting up his defenses. So you don't have a lot of options. So what would you like to do with your mesmerize?
I am not a target, but I will point you at one. Hear my tale.
Do you have, what levels do you have of Dominate?
I have 3 levels of Dominate.
Okay. So you know you can't get him to do something that's going to put him in danger, right? Like as soon as he's in danger, it's going to break the mesmerism. But up until that point, he will follow your orders. So, all right. So you tell him that, and he stands back and says, "Who do I seek, Lord?"
Fletcher. A witch, and we suffer not a witch to live. Though through your actions he can earn God's grace. And if he does, he can be spared. But only if he repents.
And where shall I find him?
And he gives the address to the manor.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to do another roll.
Yep.
Same thing as you did before, manipulation plus dominate.
Alrighty. All right, this go around, I have a messy critical.
Okay, do you wish to spend a night move to negate the messy critical?
Yes.
Okay.
So it'd just be 4 successes.
Okay. He's got 4 successes too. Do you want to spend a willpower, or do you want to spend some night moves? You can spend 9 moves and get extra dice. So 2 night moves will get you 2 extra dice.
I'll spend 2 night moves to get 2 extra dice.
Yeah, or you can spend 4 and get 4 extra dice if you want.
Yeah, sure. Wait, I mean, fucking yeah, that works. Let's see if I can get out another success. Haha! 1! I got 1 more success, so I'm technically at 5. I got 1.
You feel him resist and resist and resist, and then at the last second you feel him break. And you hear Decimus behind you say, "I guess the Lord really is in your corner."
That's the idea.
Do you need to accompany this man to his new quest?
Very much so. Tell me, do you think you could deliver us?
I've never tried to bring one like him through there. But then again, I've never failed at doing such things. So let's see.
Deliver us, and I shall deliver he who you desire.
Shadows part. And you slip through. The priest is somewhat shaken by everything that he's seeing. He keeps trying to break, so I am going to say that you do have a ton of night moves. I'm going to say if you spend 3 night moves, you can just automatically get him there without having to redo the mesmerism rolls along the way.
Sure.
You will be able to guide Decimus and the priest through. The priest is freaking out a little bit and he's mumbling prayer after prayer, but he can't see anything. All his prayers have to do with God giving him back his sight and what have you. And you guide him and you guide Decimus through, and shortly you exit out of the shadows, just up on the hill near where the mansion of the Tremere Regent is. When you step out, you see that the place is dark. There is some light here and there, but it's definitely, usually when you come here, the place is alive. There's music, there's people usually fucking or doing art or talking or reading or whatever. There's always life. There's always something going on here, but now it's really kind of quiet, subdued, dark. You do have the gate ahead. There is a guard at the gate. It's probably not going to be much of a problem. What would you like to do?
Well, I said I would deliver them a sword, and I surely am a man of my word.
You step up to the gate. You will not have a problem dealing with the guards, I will say, between you and Decimus. Decimus will tell you at this point, if you don't mind, I will stay back in the shadows. I don't need to antagonize someone who doesn't even know me, but I'll be here. I do still want you to hold your end of the bargain, so I won't go very far. And
I think he turns and he looks at him and he says, I am a man of my word. You will find the saint in the deepest, farthest bowels of the subway system. You will find him down there, though be aware that once you get within close enough proximity to him, he will reach out. And he is powerful.
I've spoken to him.
I have indeed.
And what is that like?
A confusion of memories, thoughts, and emotions all flooding at one point in time. Some of it's organized, some of it's disorganized, but you will know one very keen thing. He likes a home field advantage, and in doing so, he will suck you into one of his memories. And that is how he will converse with you, at least initially. The most important thing is to be entertaining. If you're not entertaining, well, he will see to your end.
Myself am not very entertaining, but I have friends who are. What interesting times we live in, Father.
I expect you to keep your end of the bargain and remove him from my city.
That is the plan. As long as we get to him before the Talmahera does.
And if you accomplish this, then you will always have an ally within this city.
Good luck. He's bound to want to bite once the chain is off him.
I have no doubt of that whatsoever.
He steps back in the shadows and is gone. And you are left there alone with Father Roman. You can see that darkness remains around his face a little bit as he, Decimus has left a little gift behind to help control him a little bit more. What do you wish to do?
Father, or Reverend, you must understand that in the end, we are on the same side. And I hope that you will come to see that, and come to know and understand that I am your friend. Even though you may not see it as such in this moment. I will help you enact your work. I will help you find those who need to repent.
I have read this story before. 40 days and 40 nights. The deceiver comes slithering up on the blinding hot sands of the desert to our Lord and Savior and promising him succor and relief from his pain. Your words are empty.
No. I prepare this city, at least, for the arrival of its savior. And I just need your help to remove those who would stand against it.
And with that, you walk up to the house. And as you do, over somewhere, Lees, you sit with the man who started all of this, the man whose writings and ideas and thoughts began all of this. I find the work quite remarkable, he says as he's looking at some of the tattoos of his designs that he can see peeking out of the dream dress you're wearing.
What? She's naked in the dream.
She's naked in a dream. Hey,
Just kidding.
I
The priest is just my modesty.
feel that we have connected so often that we should be on better terms, but I simply know that it appears you may accomplish my lifelong dream. My life's work, really. Succeed where I failed. And I find that very surprising. I did not expect that. Why do you do this?
Fail? Why do I do this?
Why do you do it?
For the city. For a place to call home. A haven. Where all walks of life can enjoy one another, surrounded by beauty and art. Ever since I've came here, I've watched this city die. When Fletcher told me there was another way that we could save it, I leapt on that chance. Why did you try so long ago? What fueled you?
It started as a very selfish thing. I think I wanted to elevate myself to get a deeper understanding of things. I almost died in France when the king had me arrested for sorcery and they were going to execute me. But then he gave me a reprieve as long as I served them, and I thought, I have been given a second chance. If I do not do everything that I can with it, if I cannot do the most that I can with it, then I do not deserve to have gotten it. And so from that moment on, I set my thoughts to bettering myself and the place and the people around me. And I had many disciples, Kalome and Father Aiden and several others. And they all thought the same way I did. They all wanted to grow and learn and elevate themselves, but also elevate the place where they live, because the Romans had this concept of the genius loci, a spirit of place. Any place had it. A city had a genius loci, a house. And if you took care of the genius loci, it took care of you in turn. If you take care of the place where you live, the place that you live in will take care of you. And that is a truth that is unavoidable. And so we set about doing that until, well, things went awry.
Tell me more about that, so then perhaps I won't make the same mistakes.
There was a woman, one of your kind. Her name was Marie. She was sort of the protector of the city back a long time ago, in the early 1700s, when the place was just a little fort. Marie was a wonderful woman, devoted to the people of the city, much like you, just wanting to help people live better. She had a friend, Ines, and the two of them were attempting to cleanse this thing called a call, this sort of portal to a very bad place that exists on the mountain. Kalome and I decided to help them, and things didn't go very well. We managed to put a bit of a lid on it, so to speak, but it took a lot out of me and I almost died, and it took Ines turning me into one of you to save my life. And in that moment, in that action, Kalome rejected me and what I had become. We had 3 children already together, and down the years, 2 of them became like you, or like me also, I guess. Kindred, you've met 2 of them, Vico and the Rat King, but the Rat King, Renard, named after my grandfather, is special. He was never changed. The other one is Annabelle. She was changed also. And Calome changed. He became obsessed with the call, kept on studying it, kept on trying to fix it, and in time it corrupted her mind. And she fell in it and was trapped there for hundreds of years, imprisoned in there and tortured by this place, infused with its hellish energies. And when she emerged a few decades ago, she was completely different, hateful, and only wanting to destroy. I myself died not too long after I turned. I didn't have what it took to be one of you. I was killed, but thankfully I live on in my children and in the spirit of this city. I was never able to finish my work. I heard of something. After I was turned into a La Sombra, I heard of this thing called Golconda, and I searched for it and I tried to achieve it, but it eluded me. Everything I discovered, I put in notes that I believe your lover, Fletcher, discovered and has now inked on your body so lovingly.
Do you miss her, Chloe?
I miss who she was. She was beautiful and kind and curious, and she became just the opposite. She only wanted to do good. She only wanted to make this place better. And that is what I came to tell you. Please, you have to be careful, because when you have a dream like this, when you have a dream that is so powerful that it drives you and it possesses you and it obsesses you, if that dream fails, you fall from a very, very, very tall height. And that is what happened to Kalome, and you saw what she became. I would hate to see the same happen to you if this does not work as it should.
But she denied you even before she came that.
She did. Her and Father Aidan Joseph. They could not stand what I had become. They were both Verbena life mages, and to see the thing I had become, the mockery of life I had become, was too much for them.
I feel sorry for you.
I do not think you need to feel sorry. I lived so many things, 2 lifetimes, 3 lifetimes. I should have died so many times. I should have died by the king's hand. I should have died when I confronted the call. I should have died over and over, and every time I was given another chance. I have lived more than most.
You should be glad to know that your children continue your work.
That is why we have children, is it not? It is impossible for us sometimes, most of the time, to achieve our dreams. We can only hope to go a certain distance, and that our children will pick up the flambeau, the torch from us, and keep moving it forward. That is how the whole thing perpetuates itself. You have children?
I do now. Only one. A daughter.
Care for her well. I miss my daughter. If you commit to the ritual, Lise, you have to make sure that you perform it as close to the saint as possible. His mind is connected to all the minds in the city through dreams. If the ritual is conducted successfully near him, it will reach out and affect the whole city. It will cleanse all the citizens' dreams. It was a cave a long time ago. We called it the Saint's Cave. Marie, Ines, and myself discovered it the night that I was killed and turned. We hid from the sun there, and we encountered him, slumbering beneath the city. Would be a place underground near the saint. It might bear his mark or his name in some way.
Was he the same then as he is now?
Enigmatic and shadowy and full of verbal nonsense that somehow makes terrible sense. The one who turned me, Ines, she was very old, very powerful, and she felt small and insignificant and alienated by him, so whatever he is not something that any of us can truly contend with. Tread carefully.
He seems to have given me his blessing. I hope he keeps his word.
I fear a creature like him may be very fickle. His mind is not something we could understand. If he has given you his blessing, then all the best, but I would be very careful. Imagine staring into the face of God, looking up at your maker. How could you even understand someone like that and what they want and what they hope to accomplish? It would be impossible. We are by design inferior to those who make us, and ascending higher is very difficult, and is something that we must spend our entire lives trying to do.
Well, lucky me, I have eternity.
I thought so too. Time is a fickle bitch. Make the most of what you do have, or even for your kind. Even the endless must end.
I've heard that before recently.
Everything is connected, Elise. This is all one big dream that we are all a part of. Someone once said, all the world's a stage, but what they meant was the entire world is an illusion that we're all having and experiencing together. There is something behind, but we don't get to see that. Only when we die, truly die, do we get to see it, and I have been there, and it is frightful.
Well, perhaps soon enough I will be at the controls of the illusion for even a moment, and I can show the world something beautiful.
I truly hope so, Elise. I truly hope so. Make my dream come true.
I'm trying.
You look up. You see Vico's face looking down. He seems alarmed. He says something's happened to Fletcher. Stay here. I'm going to go and see what's going on. Don't move from here. Stay here with Marjolaine.
Do you mean something's happened?
Meanwhile, upstairs. You have taken care of the guards at the gate. The gate stands open behind you. You walk up the pathway towards the house. The priest in tow, he is stumbling, unable to see where he is going, mumbling still under his breath. You approach the door. What do you do?
I'm gonna let it shine.
He walks forward, the priest, reaching out with his hands. The darkness is starting to fade. He walks up to the door. The door opens. You see another man there, a guard. You can tell he's a ghoul. Father, can I help you? And he looks up and goes, I recognize you. The master and the mistress are currently busy. You may have to return later.
Oh, this most certainly can't wait. The very fate of the city hangs in the balance.
Wait here. I'll see if someone can come speak to you. The door closes for a moment. The priest looks over his shoulder at you. Why do you turn on your own kind?
I don't turn on all. Only those who wish to defy the law of God.
Speaking of defying the law of gods, welcome in, Raiders Guild Superior. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a wonderful stream, gang. Hey Dave, good job on the fundraiser. Hope you guys are doing well. We're playing Vampire the Masquerade. It's kind of dark, so just so you know. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you guys. He turns back to the door. The door opens. You see Fletcher there, and he's in a state of undress. He's got pants on and an unbuttoned shirt and no shoes, and he seems really flushed and covered in sweat, and just, he's definitely been up to some stuff. And he's like, exactly what's going on, Father Dubois? Is this a friend of yours? What's happening?
You wanted a sword? I have one. This is the Reverend, leader of Gladius Day.
He seems alarmed for a second. He steps back. What did you bring him? You brought Gladius Day here? And he steps back.
Of course I did. You see, one thing that I don't take kindly is insults, much less those who flaunt the traditions of which we are to uphold, and those who oppose the Christian God. You are bastards, not even of pure blood, first off. Secondly, you and your little whore trying to do your magics, to try and change the state of things, to disrupt God's plan. Well, that simply won't do. However, you are free to repent.
What on earth are you going on about, Dubois? I thought we had an understanding. I thought we had a deal. You were going to take care of these. You're going to take care of them.
I have. They work for me.
They work for you. Is that true? Father, Reverend, whatever you are. And the Reverend, again, with his eyes kind of shaded by the darkness, says, I am the sword of God, I am the sword of light. If you are the darkness, then I must cleave you. I must bring about the righteousness and the fire of God to you. And Fletcher looks at you and goes, this is your idea of bringing this thing to me?
Of course.
All right. Okay, this is... I don't know what to tell you, Dubois. We're in the middle of something here. I don't have time to deal with whatever craziness you cook in here. Look, great if you manage to take control of them.
Why do you smell like new blood?
What's it to you?
The right of creation is for that of the prince only.
The prince is
the second
dead.
Tradition. Then there is no creation. So you mean to tell me you have cursed yet another innocent soul within this city through your devilry?
I don't believe that anything I choose to do in my own home is any of your concern.
Except you have damned another soul.
And what's that to you?
Everything, Fletcher. Haven't you been paying attention?
Dubois, you're one of the most deranged, debauched people I've ever met in my life, and I've met some fucking winners. I'm happy to play along with this collar thing that you've got going on. I'm happy to call you father and to kind of, I don't know, placate you about it, but you really are in no position to throw stones, because if we're going to be talking about sinners here, Father, I think you really need to take a look at yourself first, because you're one of the worst, and you can try to pretend that you're not, and you can try to make like you're some sort of servant of God, but at the end of the day, you're no better than any of us.
Poor, ignorant fool. I know exactly what I am. I am that which makes the innocent believe in God. I am the necessary evil. However, you and your ill house spit in the face of God. And that will not do, much less your flaunt and disregard for the traditions and our way of conducting ourselves.
All right, Dubois. I'm done debating this with you.
Careful, Warlock.
Careful. Take your pet here and go back home. We'll ring you when we have a plan and we know what's going on.
And I will not suffer a witch to live, especially one that will not repent.
And the second you say that, the darkness falls from Euclid Roman's face. The Reverend he sees. He looks up. He sees Fletcher. He intones a prayer. Fletcher immediately tries to reach out to grab him. You see that he's stopped as Euclid's presence seems to expand around him. Light starts to shine from him as he intones a prayer. You're going to need to make a Rostrek roll for me.
I am?
Yeah, both you and Fletcher actually too.
Okay.
So Rostrek,
I think that's a willpower roll if I remember correctly.
Terror Frenzy, you roll a willpower. What's your humanity?
My humanity's a 6.
Okay, so you're going to roll your willpower plus 2 dice.
Okay. Nope. Okay.
And your difficulty to resist is 4 because you are fully exposed to direct sunlight. Okay. Do the same for Fletcher.
All right. I will also spend. Can I spend night moves on this one?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to spend 2 night moves. Okay, so that is. I have a grand total of 6 successes.
All right, you shield your eyes as the sunlight basically fills the courtyard. It's basically high noon in the courtyard right now. You are not targeted by it, so it doesn't affect you. It's just really bright, and you can feel your beast stir and start to like rattle like inside a cage. Your first reflex is to try and run away, but then you kind of steel yourself and stay there. And this light erupts, and you can see that Fletcher has also resisted it, but instead of doing what he should have done, which is to run inside, he lunges forward and tries to grab the priest, muttering a spell under his breath. And the priest holds up his red book, and light emanates from it. It's not like fire or anything like that. The light just diminishes immediately. Fletcher, you see his body shrinks. It starts to turn old and kind of decrepit as the light kind of washes over him. He falls on his knees. He falls back and tries to scramble backwards again. And the priest, seeing him still alive, mumbles another prayer to God and raises his book and brings it down towards him, and another flash of light explodes.
Do you repent?
Fletcher is screaming in pain. You can see that his body has mostly turned into a cadaver at this point. His skin, he looks like he's 100-something years old. His body is all desiccated and turned into almost nothing. His hair is gone. His teeth are all fallen out, and he's just kind of trying to...
Speak the words. Do you repent, Fletcher?
He is trying to crawl away from you. Let me see what he... You hear very faintly, almost inaudible, as he tries to claw back and get inside the house, and he can't. He's too weak by now. His body, his fingers explode into dust as he grabs the sill of the door and tries to pull himself forward. You hear barely audible, "Yes."
Then you are granted God's grace.
And as soon as you say that, the Reverend stumbles back, holding his book, looking at Fletcher on the ground, looking at you. There are people that are running and coming towards you in the house. And the Reverend looks at you, and he says, "You all will burn. You all will bathe in the Lord of the Light. You have used me to do your work, but the Lord will have his day." And he turns around and he starts to head out. He starts to book it that way. Do you do anything?
If he looks at me, I grab him again.
Okay.
Like I grab him to mesmerize him again.
So to grab him, because he is fully aware now, because he's no longer under the darkness, you're going to have to give me your willpower plus humanity.
Okay. Honestly, at this point, what if I just burn all my night moves to grab him? I'm not going to do anything with him other than basically make him where I'm untargetable.
To be honest, if you burn all your night moves, you can do whatever you want.
I'm going to burn all my night moves, and I'm just going to be like, I will never be a target. But now you know where others are. I'll be in touch, Reverend.
And he falls to the ground and he crawls away, and a number of the household staff are coming out and trying to help Fletcher inside. What do you do?
You answer to us. And you were this close to leaving your little lamb all alone. Let this be a lesson. Don't cross me. And I think he turns and leaves.
Please. Vico, looking quite alarmed, says, "Something's happened to Fletcher. I'm going to go check. Stay here. Stay with Marjolaine. She's weak. She can't move. Are you okay? Are you all right? Are you here with us?"
You stay here with her. I will go see to Fletcher.
No, you stay here. I will go. You're in no state. Stay with her.
She's not listening to him. She's moving.
God damn it. You rush upstairs, and when you get upstairs, you see that some of the household staff have carried Fletcher. You see them just kind of rounding the corner. They're carrying something that looks like a body or Fletcher or something, and they kind of gone into a side room, and someone's like, "We're gonna need blood, we're gonna need lots of blood," and they haul them in, and you can tell that there's like a general kind of call to action that's going on. What do you do?
She rushes in to his side. She wants to see it, whatever it is, firsthand.
When you rush in, you see lying on the floor on a cloth that someone has spread out, basically what looks like the mummified remains of Fletcher. You barely recognize the bits of clothing he had on. His skin is old, cracked, desiccated. His limbs are withered to almost nothing. Some of his fingers are missing. His jaw is distended. The hair is completely gone off of his body. He looks like he's several hundred years old, basically, at this point. And he's barely able to do anything. They're like, everyone's kind of crowding around him, and then they see you, and then they kind of all stop, and then they all move away.
Who did this?
They kind of look at each other, and the priest did.
She kneels down at his side, places her hands on him. Sorry.
Fletcher, can you hear me?
For a moment, he turns his head very slowly towards you. The skin is so dry that it cracks and crumbles into dust as he does, and he turns and he looks up at you. His hand, old and quivering, reaches up and touches the tips of the hair that he can reach. Need blood.
She bites into her wrist and tears a chunk out and just holds it over his mouth.
He can't even grasp at it. He just opens his mouth and lets it dribble in there, and your blood drips down, and eventually Vico and the others come into the room, and Vico's like, "That she can't give him all her blood. We're going to need more blood," and he starts pouring some of his out, and they're rushing out to get some of your reserves and the things like that. Vico puts a hand on your shoulder and is like, "He's going to be like this for several nights. It's going to take a long time for him to come back, but he'll come back.
He'll live. That's all I need to know is he'll live.
He'll live, but it's going to take a while." You can't give him everything. Come on, let me take over. And
she very reluctantly moves after a moment more of bleeding out into him. But when she moves, she only moves to the other side of him, giving Vico access. She's sitting there pawing at him very softly, very delicately as not to hurt him any further.
the blood keeps coming in. People bringing in all the reserves, and Vico gives him some, and he heals a little bit, but you know that this kind of damage takes many, many nights to heal. He heals enough that he can kind of feed himself a little bit after a while. And after he's had a moment, he looks up at you and he pulls you close and he pulls you into a hug and he holds you. I never thought I'd see the sun again. But I did. It was the most horrible thing I've ever seen. It frightened me so much.
Conserve your energy. We have to get you better.
It was Du Bois got control of the Gladius Day.
We'll figure it out. Just rest.
He pulls back and looks at you and says, "Do you still find me beautiful?"
I'll always find you beautiful. I can see your heart. And it's the most beautiful thing about you.
And you feel Marjolaine rest a hand on your shoulder. She's also very weak and has difficulty standing, but she kneels down next to you. She says, "Be okay, Mother."
Yes. Fast too.
Meanwhile, on the 19 bus, going down that water, Father, you sit on this bus. One reason people are staying away from you a little bit tonight, do you maybe have a look about your eyes? What's going through the Father's mind as you're heading back towards your church?
An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Sometimes they need to be reminded of their place. Sometimes they need to accept that it's all part of God's plan. Whether they like their part or not is irrelevant. But more importantly, the city will stand. The saint will go away. And maybe the whelps will learn to mind their tongues. This was a city of God once. It will be a city of God again. Rebuilt, restructured. And they can either play by the rules or suffer the consequences. Idiots. Right. You're good.
And as the bus rolls on, you look out the window and you see atop Mount Royal the lit up cross. That's one of the most recognizable symbols of the city. This big, white, lit up cross of the mountain.